Hello traders, hello everyone, my name is Grega and welcome to our new video in which I will try to merge some educational material with some actual real lifetime analysis. So I will actually discuss about reversal in trends. Okay, as you know, the markets moves either to the upside, to the downside. It can be sideways. But what is very important, or what I see as the issue among traders, is how to define if there was end of a bear market or end of a bull market. Well, in Elliott Wave terms, we know that we have a specific patterns which can confirm that the reversal is really happening. So here on the left side, I have an example where you had the previously very strong bearish trend. Okay, it means that price is dropping significantly, but then suddenly market recovers. Well, if you're not familiar with the Elliott Wave patterns or structures, then you may look at any bounce as a correction, but in Elliott Wave terms, if you see a bounce from a new low in 5 waves, where wave 4 will not overlap wave 1, well, then this is a confirmation that market is actually making a bullish reversal because you have 5 waves up. Okay, so this is called an impulse. And what you want to trade is definitely in the direction of an impulsive price action, because as you know, impulses represents very strong move without overlaps. Okay, so if you have a very strong move and you can count 5 waves within on the price chart, then it typically means that market has most likely bottomed. Even if just temporary, it means that we should progress even higher. On the opposite side of this, let's assume you have a very strong bullish trend and then you suddenly see market reverses to the downside. But let's say that you are not, again, familiar with the Elliott Wave structures, but then I think that maybe this type of substructures could be very helpful, because in Elliott Wave terms, again, 5 waves reversal, if they can be spotted maybe on a smaller time frames, then this typically means that again that the top has been put in place, even if just temporary. So whenever we have this type of a price action, 5 wave rise from a new low or 5 wave drop from a new high, where you can clearly define that wave 4 will not overlap the wave 1 in both cases, then you can say that either top or a bottom is in place. And what you want to do in such example is you either will exit, let's say, your longs if you were long before that, or even you can take advantage of the potential shorts, because you know that market has reached the top. We don't know if this will be just a temporary weakness, but because we have these 5 waves down from a new high or 5 waves up from a new low, it typically means that this market should continue in this primary direction, which here should be to the upside because of these 5 waves up, or should be to the downside because you have 5 waves down. What is also the most important is that market will always see some kind of a pullbacks, and in just generally speaking, you will see these pullbacks in 3 waves, not in 5 waves. So it will be an ABC setback, not a 5 wave movement like on the opposite side of this direction. So these ABC pullbacks could be opportunities actually to join the primary trend, which has changed because of these 5 wave structures. So that's one thing. The another thing is that we know where we are wrong. Okay, that's the most important when it comes to Elliott Wave's principle. We exactly know at which point we are wrong, and that's, as you know, very important, because we know that in such case we can define risk pretty well. Okay, so here, if we expect after 5 waves up has been spotted on the price chart, then we know that probably bearish trend has ended. But to make sure that the bearish trend has ended, we of course want to see that price will remain above that previous low. So as long as we are above that level and after 3 waves of a pullback, we can expect next leg to the upside. If suddenly prices will continue to the downside and break this level, then of course you want to be out of your longs, and potentially you should reconsider the price pattern or your analysis, your approach. Here on the opposite side, obviously, if you are in a bear market, since market moved with 5 waves down away from the top, then obviously you will want to look for potential shorts as long the market is trading below the invalidation level. Okay, so just basics said that if we see a 5 waves up from a new low or 5 waves down from a new high, there can be opportunities in this new direction of a trend, even if it's just temporary after pullback. So here you could be looking for buy dips, here you could be looking for to sell rallies. And now let's take a look here on this example recently that unfolded on euro yen. So if we just consider here, it was a bear market, right? The market came to the downside, was trading to the downside for the last few weeks. What happened here back at the start of December is that market has made a very nice turn to the upside, okay? And if we just try to label the same, use the same technique here, you can clearly see, okay, you can clearly see that this can be 5 waves up. So I will once again label the price chart here, waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As I said, after 5 waves, you will typically see that market will make a setback. So we exactly know where is the invalidation level here. So we know that after next 3 waves, we should continue to the upside. And that's an A, B, and wave C. And where we went, well, very nice move to the upside. Invalidation level is clearly defined here. But if you also know more detailed Elliott Wave analysis, then you know that former wave 4 could be already the first very important support for the upcoming correction, which was clearly the case here. So after very nice 5 waves up, we have seen a 3 wave setback and market resumed higher, which should have been expected because the previous weakness has been fully retraced by an impulsive price action. Okay, so we were looking and focusing on this pattern here. And now let's take a look on this example on today's price action on dollar Mexican peso. Well, you can clearly see the dollar Mexican peso has been moving to the downside quite aggressively for the last few weeks. But what I recently spotted here, that firstly, just some basic technical analysis, well, market came out of this downward channel. Okay, so that was the first indication that something is changing. And then after this recent pop-up in price, notice that I can clearly again define 5 waves up from a new low. Okay, so that was a wave 1, you had a wave 2, very nice wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. So again, what we can expect once we have 5 waves up from a new low, well, we can expect that market should continue higher after a pullback. So firstly, we want to see a pullback and then a new direction to the upside. So I want to look for potential buying opportunities as long we are trading above that invalidation level. Again, you should pay attention to potential ABC setback. Now, that's the ideal substructure for a correction, but sometimes there will be flat triangle or some other combination of a complex correction. But just try to keep the things simple as possible. So for now, we will try to observe a potential ABC pullback, and if we will see a 3 wave drop back to the previous area of a 4th wave, or potentially even down to this starting point of wave 2, well, that's your support area. You also have this some kind of a previous swing highs here that could cap the or limit the downside here on a next dip. So I want to look for potential long opportunities as long the market is trading above this invalidation level. And it's not really a magic, it's just simple Elliott Wave approach, which actually is recognizable through patterns, because patterns are made through sentiment, okay, through crowd behavior. And whenever you see a very strong price action in 5 waves, it means that most likely the trend, the cycle, the sentiment has changed. Okay, so after a 3 wave drop, I will be looking for potential long opportunities. Of course, I want to see the quality of this structure, and ideally, if we'll see something similar like here, I think that there can be some good buying opportunities, at least in the short term, for dollar Mexican peso. traders, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon. Bye.